Hello, my name is Ariking Omini. Welcome to the World Teacher Unfiltered. Today's edition is titled Cycles of Crisis. Throughout history, there's been records of cycles, a repetition of historical events that takes place in the same order after a century, decade, or a year of similar events in the past. But as an era seems to be winding down, there's an uptick in global events, sometimes catastrophic or damning, happening around the world, from natural disasters to economic, political conflicts and migration cycles, even scandals taking place and rocking our world today. In 1914, there was the outbreak of the First World War. In 2014, a century later, four major defining events took place. First, the Russia-Ukraine-Crimea annexation, sparking a war that killed up to 13,000 people, while many others got displaced and migrated to other parts of Europe, including Germany. Second, Boko Haram, the West African Islamic terror organization, exploded as they abducted over 200 girls from their dormitory, causing a popular hashtag, Bring Back Our Girls. First time a hashtag became popular and mainstream. Third, in 1918, there was the influenza pandemic that killed more than the Great War, at somewhere between 20 and 40 million people. In 2014 and 2018, there was the Ebola outbreak in the world that began from the forested rural region of southeastern Guinea, which marked the beginning of the West African epidemic. Fourth, the First World War was about women's freedom and equality. As after the war, the women's suffragette movement began, disenfranchised women got the right to vote and be voted into power from 1919. A century later, in 2017, the Hollywood scandals began that saw many powerful men in America and Europe fall. A situation that started the Bring Back Our Girls movement in 2014. In a separate event, in 1917, there was the miracle of the sun, a sun-blinking event in Fatima attended by a large crowd of people in Portugal. Again, a century later, in November 2017, the same event was witnessed and reported in Benin City, Nigeria. In 1991, America invaded Iraq over Kuwait. In 2001, a decade later, 10 years later, America invaded Afghanistan over 9/11 World Trade Center attack. In 2003, the US invaded Iraq, the second time, a continuation of the 2011 9/11 bombing. In 2011, 10 years later, the Arab Spring started, a perpetuation of the 10-year cycle of conflict in the Middle East, a situation that destroyed Syria and triggered the 2015 migration crisis into Europe. The question is, what next in 2021? In 2018, during the Black History Month, the movie Black Panther debuted and became extremely popular around the world. A year later, about the same period, in 2019, several African-American celebrities were indicted for bad behavior, from Jussie Smollett for faking a racial attack to R. Kelly explosive documentary of child sex abuse, to Michael Jackson Leaving Neverland documentary accusing him of allegedly molesting two young boys. Although it's been debunked by many as being false and an attack on his character and welcoming nature. The question is, what is the next surprise for 2020 Black History Month, or 2021, or 2022? Because we should expect these global events to peak to the end of the next decade. My prediction will be that in 2020 or 2021 or 2022 perhaps, Hidden truths about the African American heritage will come to light. Something from the 400-year-old slavery past will headline the news. We shall see. One thing is clear. The end of the 400-year-old curse coincides with the time of the rise of Africa and the revelation of the divine matrix, its essence to the world. Thank you for dropping by. I invite you all to become a part of our global community, the community of the Great World Teacher. If you appreciate this content, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.